What if someone has been watching you from inside your own home? Not a ghost, not a shadow, a person. Welcome back to Karma Quietly Whispers, my loves. This is your place for spooky, creepy, and scary stories. My name is Alara, and I am your whisperer. Tonight, please join me as we journey together. I'm sure you will enjoy what is to come. So, let us begin. A person who has learned your routines, who knows when you're alone, who has been accessing your attic through a window in the roof. For how long? You don't know. And leaving the door locked behind them. Tonight's story is the kind that will make you look at your ceiling differently. The kind that will make you notice sounds you've always dismissed. This comes from r/TrueScaryStories, posted by a young woman who wanted to know if she was overreacting. She wasn't. Let me tell you about the attic. The narrator of this story, let's call her Vera, lives in a house with a particular architectural feature. Above her garage is an attic space. That attic space connects directly to her closet through an interior door, and that door has a lock. A lock that works from the outside of the closet, meaning, and I need you to hold this detail, when that door is locked, it's locked from the attic side. Someone in the attic can lock Vera out, but from inside her closet, she cannot lock herself in. And there's one more thing about the attic. There is a window, large enough for a person to fit through. No glass, no covering, just an open frame, accessible from the roof. An open window, accessible from the roof, leading into a connected attic space, leading through a lockable door directly into a young woman's closet. Let that architecture settle. For some time, Vera doesn't specify exactly how long, this attic door has been behaving strangely. It locks randomly, with no one having locked it, and then it unlocks again, just as unexpectedly. Vera doesn't own a key to it. She can't explain the mechanism. She tells herself it's an old, unused door, that it's sticky, finicky, mechanical weirdness, because that's the explanation you reach for when the alternative is too frightening to fully form. But she kept noticing something else. Screws on the floor of the attic, always facing upward, scattered in slightly different positions from time to time. Never enough to prove something was wrong, just enough to needle at her. Just enough to make her note it and move on and come back to it quietly, in quiet moments. Small things, explainable things, the kind of breadcrumbs that only look like a trail in retrospect. Then one day, Vera's father left for a business trip. He'd be gone a couple of days. One of the cars was missing from the driveway. Obvious, visible evidence of absence. And anyone watching the house would know. Vera was in her room, playing a game on her computer. Normal afternoon, normal sounds. And then a slam, loud and violent, from the direction of her closet, followed instantly by the sound of running footsteps on the roof above her. And then a car engine starting and driving away. Whatever had been in that attic, whoever had been in that attic, had heard her in the house, had panicked, had slammed the door, bolted across the roof, climbed down, and left. They had left in a car. This was not an animal. Animals do not drive cars. Animals do not lock doors behind them. Animals do not wait for a father to leave before they come back. Vera ended her post by saying she wasn't sure if she had enough evidence to call the police. She was afraid of seeming paranoid. She noted that she'd dealt with a stalker before, so maybe her alarm system was oversensitive. Loves. I need to address this directly because this kind of self-doubt is exactly what makes situations like this dangerous. You do not need to prove stalking beyond a reasonable doubt before you call the police. You need to feel unsafe in your own home, and she does. A door that locks from the wrong side consistently with no key. Screws scattered on a floor in changing positions. Heavier than animal noises on the roof. Repeatedly. A violent slam from inside the closet, followed by running footsteps and a car driving away. On the day her father is visibly absent. This is not paranoia. This is pattern recognition. This is her body and her mind correctly assembling information into a conclusion that her anxiety is trying to talk her out of. The fact that she has experienced stalking before does not make her paranoid. It makes her experienced. It makes her able to recognize what someone without that experience might dismiss entirely. Call the police, lock the attic window, board it up if you have to, even a temporary barrier matters. Do not sleep in that house alone until the window is secured and the door mechanism is explained by someone qualified to explain it. And tell someone, anyone. Get a witness to the pattern because the pattern is real. The scariest spaces in a home are the ones you forget about. The attic you never use. The crawl space you sealed years ago. The gap above the garage that connects to somewhere you sleep. We build these spaces and we ignore them. And sometimes, something notices that we've stopped paying attention. Check your attic, loves, not because I want to frighten you, but because the only thing worse than finding something is not finding it until it finds you. Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Alara, and I am your whisperer. I'll be here, waiting for you next time. If this story resonated with you, leave a comment below. I want to hear your stories. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this story and want to hear more. This has been Karma Quietly Whispers. See you soon.